Rick, coaches and players always feel a little better after a win. Cards coming off a couple of wins, kind of a feel-good one over Pitt when they got things done in the fourth quarter, something they have not been able to do very often. Different kind of challenge this week. They're expecting a lot of the run game from Pitt. Wake gives you a combination and a veteran quarterback in Sam Hartman.
Yeah, one thing I thought Louisville did really well on Saturday against Pittsburgh is they frustrated Keaton Slovis, the Pittsburgh quarterback. He looked like he lost his confidence early in the game. He really wasn't able to hit many long passes for sure. He looked very uncomfortable in the pocket. And Louisville's defense from the front to the back played their most consistent game of the year. This is a different challenge, a different style of offense. It's RPO, which means run pass option, and it's considered the slowest developing run pass option in the country, which means Hartman takes his time at the line of scrimmage, deciding whether A, he's going to run it himself or be handed to a halfback. So the one thing we heard today from the coaching staff is that Louisville will have to get a good pass rush and speed Sam Hartman up.
Stay in your gaps. So a lot of talk about
gap
that.
Integrity.
Right, that's always important. Are you surprised more schools have not gone to that slow play RPO that
yeah.
Wake has done now very successfully for a number of years?
Yeah, I mean, as I asked Satterfield, Wake really hasn't been much of a football school, and Dave Clawson is really one of the more underrated stories in the ACC. They're not, the class of the league, but they're near the top every year more than
they've been up there.
Bottom. Yeah, I am. That's what you have to do at some schools where you don't have huge advantages in recruiting or facilities or tradition. Find a niche, recruit to the niche, and take advantage of it. And they've developed a system. What was Newman was the quarterback for Jamie
Right.
Newman, who they
Right.
had, who was really good, and then went to Georgia and never played again. They've become a place where come here and we're going to score a lot of points and run this funky offense, and I think they can recruit to that now, Tom.
Louisville trying to make it 3 straight ACC wins. Haven't done that since 2016.
Wow.
Can they do it against a 10th ranked Wake Forest team?
I think they can because traditionally they've played Wake pretty well. They only lost to them by 3 last year at Winston-Salem. As we both talked about and you mentioned, the games have been weird, starting with the year that somebody slipped the plays to the Louisville coaching staff here. That was
Yeah.
Wake Forest also.
Right.
I think Louisville's playing with as much confidence as they've had all year, especially on defense. Let's remember a couple of weeks ago, Scott Satterfield came into the press conference and stunned us all by saying he was going to spend more time with defense and help in some of the defensive coordinating part of it. And as I wrote about at WDRB.com yesterday, it's had an effect.
Yeah.
So their defensive guys, Yasir Abdullah played a phenomenal game, was recognized by the ACC. Yaya Diaby was great in the first half. They made changes in the defensive secondary. So I think if they can get off to a good start, and it was interesting, Satterfield made a plea for people to come out to the game. He feels, I think he wants to see a larger crowds. The crowd was down to, was it 41 again for Pitt. I think he'd like to see 50 plus in here. It feels like the crowd could maybe push them over the line.
Would certainly help. 3:30 start on Saturday here at the stadium. For Rick, I'm Tom for WDRB Sports.